Hi, my name is Mike Rutkowski, estate planning and elder law attorney here at the Rutkowski Law Firm. What are you doing in here?
Hey Dad, you're in my chair.
In your chair? I'm not giving up my chair.
Welcome to the Rutkowski Law Firm.
All right, Michael, when is it too late to do a power of attorney?
This is a very confusing one because there's a different legal standard for incapacity versus medical. So what I mean by that is there is an opportunity to still do a power of attorney, right? A power of attorney is a document that gives you the ability to make decisions for another person who can't. When is it too late to do that? Depends on the person's ability to understand what's going on. And so there's been plenty of times where we've been able to put in place a power of attorney for a person who medically they've been unable to make medical decisions going forward. A physician has said this person can no longer make medical decisions for themselves, but we can still do a power of attorney because they still understand the basic concepts of, who my family is, I want this person to be able to help me if I can't help myself. They don't have to understand verbatim, word for word, the document. They just need to understand those basic concepts. And that's our job. That's our job as attorneys to make the determination of whether they still have the capacity to sign a legal document or not. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't like a come in the cover of night strategy when no one's watching and have a power of attorney signed. We'd be coordinating this with their medical providers to make sure that this is something that's on the up and up. But there's often time where we can still do a power of attorney even though they have been deemed by medical professionals unable to make medical decisions for themselves. And the list of why they would want to do that is endless. I mean, we've done other videos on that where, it's less time consuming and expensive for the family. There's less court oversight. There's all those things. So when you're struggling with which one do I need? Because what's probably happened is you've come across some roadblock where you can't help someone, whether it's you're calling the utility company and they're like, oh, well, you're not Mary Smith. We can't talk to you. That's what usually brings people to us is some roadblock that they've run into. A hospital saying they can't make decisions. You can't get access to pay bills for someone. You need to sell real estate, but you don't have the authority to do so. There's all these triggers that all of a sudden you need to be able to make decisions for someone, and you need to know, can I still do a power of attorney? Because that's the best way to go, the best for the family, the best for the individual. There's less court oversight. Or is it too late and now I have to go petition the probate court to get appointed as that person's guardian? And so we help families all the time to make that determination of whether we can still do one or not.
Is it essentially too late if the person can no longer make decisions for themselves, and who decides that they're no longer capable of doing that?
Yeah. So, there's essentially two parties that decide this. There's the medical side. So two physicians saying this person can no longer make decisions for themselves. That's typically, they're talking about medical. And then it's our job as attorneys to determine whether they can still sign legal documents or not. Now, there's a lot that goes into that. We're going to look at the history of the patient, diagnosis is what's going on with them to see if we still have the ability, but we're going to try our hardest to still do planning if we can without going to the court.
I have more questions. We're going to save it for the next video. If you'd like to continue to learn more about power of attorney, keep on watching. If you're ready to get started and would like our help, please give us a call at 248-955-2842. Again, that's 248-955-2842. We're here to guide you every step of the way. And if you want to keep learning about the ins and outs of estate planning, be sure to subscribe now and take the first step towards peace of mind. Because estate planning isn't just about documents, it's about protecting your family and securing your legacy. Thank you all. Until next time. Thank you, Michael.
See you guys.